show you. So I want to give you a little bit of a tour now that I'm sort of mid-July of My Hobonichi and the whole new setup for the next 6 months. So let's get into it, shall we? This is the official Hobonichi leather green water lily leather cover, and it is lovely. It's so soft and it smells so good. So I'm really enjoying that. I don't really use these tabs too much, but they don't annoy me because they do lay quite flat. I know you can basically lock the cover, but I've no need to do that just yet. So opening it up, I have all my stencils there straight away, and then also there's another pocket here for where I put all my Stalogy dot stickers or any other stickers that takes my fancy. So yeah. Then I've just got my day 3 book that's slotted into the first slot on this side. I've put a backing paper on there because we don't like the blue colour. But it is literally just the day 3, which is what I'm using as a general commonplace book, which is basically any articles, any information that I'm interested in or takes my fancy or that I might want to research into more goes in here. I still haven't found a use for the monthlies in this book, but I'm kind of thinking about making it into a visual index, which I might do at a later date, whereas at the moment I'm just using the standard traditional way of using the Hobonichi as an indexing system. But I'm thinking about making this visual because I think there's enough squares for the amount of pages that are in this book. You would have seen this book in other videos that I've done. So yeah, this is just a general commonplace book that I like to have on that side. And then we have got my Hobonichi Avec July to December with this beautiful cover on it from Some Things to Keep. It's got a little bit marked up as I've been working on the books. I've been working on it without the cover, whereas now I work with the cover on. But I don't want to put a Midori one on because I don't like the Midori one. So yeah, open it up. We have got the X-ray, as I like to call, of the sketch of this. And then the lovely quote that I like at the top, which is creativity is moonlight in the gloomy night of life. Whereas the original phrase was music is moonlight. But I changed it to creativity. Then we go into the calendars page where I've turned this side into intentions, and then the top part of 2024, almost forgot the year there, for important dates, which I'm already using because these are some events that I'm coming up that I want to go to, but I need to sort of plan when I'm going there, so it's nice to have that reference there so I can work it into my diary at some point. Then this is just some intentions and what I'm looking forward to in the seasons coming ahead. Then I've got the traditional index, as I said before, and I've worked out my colour codes. I've really minimised my colour codes from last time. I think I had 11 on the last one, and then just filling them in as I go. Then I'm already making use of my creation log, which is basically I am mapping out how many hours a day I'm spending making content or creating something, whether it be an artwork that's not going to be featured on the channel or a commission or something like that. I put it here because I want to see how long it's taken me to do certain tasks, but this feeds into the creation chronicle later. Now for this one we had an extra monthly page, and it was June, but June's already gone, so I had no use for it. So I thought I'd just stick it with an image from each month of the previous 6 months. So then moving on to the monthlies, which is where I'm using one of the bookmarks to show which month I'm on. I've just put some nice beach stamps, there we go, beach stamps, because this month I've already been to the beach a lot already, which I need to journal about, and I've got some fantastic images as well that I'm excited to share with you guys. So it's very much a beach theme, which is hilarious for me, who usually doesn't like summer, but I seem to be embracing it this year. So yeah, and the colours that I'm using are just, I want to keep some colours each month just to change it up each month. So I've gone for like a minty, corally, orange colour with maybe a little bit of lilac in there as well. The other months I've just stuck some stickers of games or books or movies that are going to be released that I'm excited for. So I don't plan too far ahead. I mean, I know there's a couple of bits already in August, but literally only 2 things. So, but I'm only, where are we? On the 19th today. So yeah, I don't plan too much ahead for this book. But yeah, so we get on to where we had December, and then it went to January 2025. So I've used it for my master video list to keep that handy and tick off the things as I go along, or if I've got some new ideas. Then I've got the Creation Chronicle cover page. So this is what I'm using my weeklies for. It's just basically blocking off the time of how long it takes me to do a certain task. Like here was annotation research, backfill some videos on my Book Nook channel, Q&As, this, that and the other. A lot of this will be editing, especially when I'm at home. Editing backlogs, editing past videos, July layouts, that sort of thing. Just how long it takes me to do each hour, and then work out how many hours a week I'm spending. And then this obviously then feeds into my creation log here, so I can see it in more of a graph form, and then I can see it as a monthly overview rather than having to work out each week. So this feeds into that. So yeah, we're here Friday, so I'll be highlighting these, same filming this video eventually. And then the boxes I just use a Tombow just to outline them. I decided to do some funky colours of the month. So yeah, the coral, the lilac, the mint green. I think there's a bit of a like a bluish grey as well, yeah. Just to keep it, you know, different all the time. And then these boxes are basically the focus of the week, the video that I need to focus on that week in order to get out for the next week, or perhaps a week ahead if I do get ahead of myself. Which channels for which, because I'm now running 2 channels, Book Nook Spirit and of course Studio Spirit. And then the dates things are going to be released, then a breakdown to-do list that I need to focus on that week, a space for notes, a handover box. So here I will go through the week, look at what I've done, what I've not done on my to-do list, and then write it here of what needs to be handed over or what I need to focus on because I know I have a deadline or something coming up. So it just helps me sort of summarize this week into that box, and then the total hours spent. And then I've started cutting off the corners as well, so I can quickly jump to whatever page. I've done up to August, so that's why they're cut off, but then I'm also using the second bookmark for whatever week I'm currently working on. So that's the weeklies. Then we get to, yeah, that's the weekly, and then turning the page. So I've decided to do like a guideline of how I'm going to use my daily pages. For anyone that's interested in my method, I'm going to do like a PDF guideline and write this up better in a digital format, and I'll put it on my Patreon for anybody that's interested in a daily guide of how to use the guide, because I've decided to use the to-do dots at the top. I've split up the timeline for sleep hours and then energy, mood and productivity of the day. Then this is going to be used for more detailed breakdowns of appointments, phone, this, that and the other, because obviously I have a job as well, so that gets more complicated rather than just a simple breakdown of what tasks I'm doing, like filming and this, that and the other. But also it's going to be like boring stuff like laundry, that sort of thing. Or it could be, if I don't want to do it that day, it could be daily thoughts or simply a brain drain for me to use. And then at the bottom I want to use it either for an image or for continued text. So the main part here, I'm gonna split it off 4 boxes deep for margin. So this margin will be used for notes, time of entries, what I'm feeling about whatever I'm writing here, or to stick larger images. So it'll be like a door. So this will be where the glue goes, and then it can be used for that. Some stickers, some commonplace ref, because I might need to put a reference to an article that's in my commonplace or one of my special interest commonplace books, and then any add-ons really that needs to go there. So there is a dedicated space for that. Then I'm going to have this line here with the sticker or the shape that I'm going to use for the index ref, and then the title there, and then fill this with whether it's journaling, projects, wonderlust, or miscellaneous. And then just keeping the bottom basically as the quote section in calendar. I like having the calendars there because it does help me visualize how much time I've got left to do things. And then I've just wrote myself a little dear me letter about, you know, what I'm excited for and what I want to focus on, and, you know, just a little pep talk basically. And then we move on to dailies. This is the July cover so far, but I like to fill this in as I go throughout the month. So this illustration is from an article that I've written about. So yeah, I've not stuck that side down because there might be an overlay or a stamp or something that goes there. And then I want to write July there as well in big letters, so that needs to be done. So this gets filled throughout the month rather than at the beginning. So yeah, you can see that this guide is being utilized here on the first page, which is just a little hello July and about what I'm excited for. At the top, I don't always use it as a to-do page. It could also be things that I need to check out. So there's a list of books there that I want to check out to see whether I want to read them or not. Then just the main text about July, and then in my margin I've written that it's backfilled on the 9th of July because I didn't have my book for the first 2 weeks because I was away and I didn't have this book. I still only had my older book. And then my mood as well, because I'm like full. I wrote this literally when I came back the day after Bournemouth. So I was like full of sun, sea and sand, you know, I was full of energy. And then I wrote like a little poem there. So again, it wouldn't be used as a daily schedule, but I knew my sleep hours for that day because I knew I was having difficulty sleeping because of the heat. The little bit of heat that we got through the rainstorms. So yeah, the colour that I've used for the margin in the title is basically colours of the month that I'll use, so it won't always be the same. So again, it just changes things up and visually makes it more interesting for me. So that's a simple way of me using that, because that looks very complicated as it is, but when you see it actually utilised, it's actually quite simple. But then here's just another example of when I'm actually using it for a bit of commonplacing. The reason why this commonplace article hasn't gone in this commonplace book is because it is related to a project that I'm working on. So this is very much generalized topics, and it could be anything, but it's what sparks my interest and what makes me want to read it and maybe research into it a bit more. Whereas this is related to projects, or it's related to maybe even a journal entry or something like that. So this is more related to what's going on in my everyday life anyway. So that's why I like to keep this little bit of commonplacing in the Hobonichi. And now that I've got my margins on the side, I can actually highlight text and write what I'm thinking about that particular thing, or what it inspires, or just a little bit more. So as I'm annotating the articles, it gives me a deeper understanding and also helps me to read the article much better as well, and understand the article as well, because I'm dyslexic, so I can easily misunderstand something because I've misread something or I've missed an entire sentence. So when I actively annotate, it actually helps me to better understand the article as well. And then here I've just put the source of where the articles come from and then who wrote them as well. and then my index reference there, the title there, and then I've just used the schedule side as basically the imagery that went along with the article. So I pretty much kept to how I was going to say I was going to use it as the guide, but because sometimes the article will dictate how to use the page, and obviously some images are very big and I don't want to fold them or this, that and the other. So sometimes it will dictate how it will be used, but I will always put my margin here so I can definitely still annotate the text. But as you can see, I've let the writing go over onto that side as well. And then after I've finished with the article, I've then gone back in with reflections of what I've learned and what I want to go moving forward in sort of like a little conclusion, because now that I've done that, I can tell you all about this article without having to reread it or anything like that, and it's easier for me to jump back and forth even when it's been some time that's passed. So I find that's a great way to utilize, and it is basically commonplacing, but obviously within my daily Hobonichi. So yeah, that's some examples of, you know, how I'm utilizing my guideline. As I said, I will do a digital version of this for you guys and put it on my Patreon under the freebies section. So yeah, I'll get on with that as soon as possible. I'll leave a link to it below when I've done it as well, so you guys can have it. There'll be a link to my Patreon anyway, just go and have a little nosy and come and say hi. I'd love that. But when that's up, I'll put a link in the description directly to that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below, as always, if you've got any thoughts or feelings, or if there's something you want to see me do. I will be happy to take your advice on board. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying using your Hobonichis, if you are using Hobonichis or whatever method you guys are using. And I'm excited for the next 6 months. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.